Brisbane rents fall. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Continuing our look at a series of articles discussing apartment and unit rent falls around a lot of the major cities here in Australia, it's time to have a look at this domain article from Brisbane. I've got my morning stein of coffee that I'm still working through. I thought it'd be interesting to see how rents are taking a hammering in my city. Before we jump, I'm in nice Gold Coast view here. I'm actually going to go down the Gold Coast later today, but before we jump into this article, let's go over to the Property Council of Australia, their data room, so we can just get a bit of a perspective on some of these figures. Let's look at the median residential unit value. How are we doing here in Brisbane? I mean, there you go, Sydney, 700 grand. Bloody hell. Brisbane, $390,000. And let's look at the median residential unit rents. In Brisbane here, we're at $390, far below the weighted average of $457. Sydney's at was at $530 when this data, but it's now $500. I'd be interested to see what Adelaide has adjusted to. But let's have a look. Brisbane units have become more affordable. And remember when people were saying, everything's good, property's going to go well, now's the time to get in. We're starting to see some of the ramifications here. Remember, properties seems to be slower moving. It doesn't move as quick as other markets. It takes time to percolate through. So Brisbane rents fall during the pandemic from the Domain Rent Report. Brisbane's longest run of rent stability has ended, with houses and unit rents falling over the last 3 months, new data shows. There you go, it's the same line. The latest quarterly Domain Rent Report released Thursday revealed asking prices for houses across Greater Brisbane dropped 2.4% or $10, taking the median weekly rent to $400. Apartment prices also slipped into the median rent, down from $385 to $380. So it's even lower than the chart that I have here. So it's taken a hit. Come on, Property Council, you got to update. Within Brisbane City Council's area, there were similar falls, but with median asking prices for units falling by $5 a week and houses by $10 a week. I mean, that's another $520 a year that you can put aside to other things, that you can save up for a deposit that you can use to improve the quality of your life, or just simply to pay down your debt or your afterpay bills. After years of relative stability and minimal price fluctuations, the global pandemic appears to have shaken the Queensland's capital's rental market. But agents say the market is already showing signs of bouncing back. I mean, bloody hell. Why do you even bother adding this? Of course they're going to say that. We've been hearing that over and over again. This is the fourth city where rents have fallen. And it's always bouncing back. Inquiries are up. That's it. It's web inquiries. Web inquiries are up. I mean, come on. We haven't even... Let's see if this market bounces back when JobKeeper disappears. Okay, let's see then what happens. Let's see how many people who just can't pay rent and just stop. When the memorandum on evictions, which I don't think has actually even passed, when that disappears. We'll see if it's bouncing back. People are just moving around to take advantage of this opportunity. Is that a bounce back, or is that the market just moving? To date, the Brisbane rental market has not been affected compared to other capitals. But, well, yes it has, we've just seen it. A 2.4% drop, that's been affected. But international border closures, plummeting foreign student numbers, job losses and pay cuts have had an impact, said Domain research analyst Nicola Powell. While it said it hasn't been affected as dramatically as some of the others. I mean, there you go, median weekly renting for houses down 2.4%. That looks like an effect. Adelaide's sitting steady. The median weekly asking rentals for units, where are we? We're at 1.3%. So a year-on-year change isn't as dramatic. So we haven't copped it as hard as those in Sydney or Melbourne. We haven't. I mean, there you go. Adelaide, they're still up, 4.9. Perth's still up. Canberra's down. Not as much as the others. But there you go. They're doing worse than us. Hobart, look at that. Quarter-on-quarter change, 8.4%. Certain areas have borne the brunt of price reductions, including Brisbane CBD and the Gold Coast. Brisbane CBD is particularly exposed to the reduced demand, with advertised rents jumping from March to June and more landlords cutting asking rents. The report found asking prices for apartments in the Brisbane local government area fell by 1.3% over the quarter, although Eden Hawkins of Living Here Cush Partners said inner city units have been hit much harder. There are certain pockets and areas that suffer a much greater drop than that, he said. Areas like Spring Hill, with high levels of interstate and overseas travel, had been strongly hit, he said. I was looking at some investment opportunities in Spring Hill years ago. You'd hate to have bought an apartment there and, one of these short stay, one bedroom things, won't be able to rent it out. And demand for inner city furnished properties in the $300 to $600 range that often typically cater to international students had completely fallen away. In a bid to fill vacant properties, Mr. Hawkins said agents were having discussions with owners about slashing asking prices. There you go. Maybe people are just holding on. They're just waiting, hoping they can get their price. Maybe they can afford to keep it empty rather than have the wear and tear of someone in there. There are a lot of tenants shopping around and assuming they can get good deals, he noted, but warned that not all properties needed a price cut to secure a lease. As always in real estate, the good quality stuff is resilient. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that isn't good quality. There's a lot of stuff that's copy-paste all throughout the city centre. Dr. Powell said Brisbane's vacancy rate had nudged slightly higher compared with last year. The Gold Coast proved to be a two-speed market. House rents remained high, of $520 a week, the most expensive place to rent, but units took a 3.4% cut. Well, there are a lot of units on the Gold Coast, and probably more people are looking at consolidating and moving into houses like we're hearing again and again and again. If you get a good 3-bedroom house for only $50 more. Dr. Powell said apartments rents had recorded their first annual fall since 2013, adding Gold Coast unit prices were most likely to be exposed to a drop in international tourism. Again, first fall since 2013. We're seeing 2011 in Sydney, 15 years in Sydney, since 2011 in Melbourne. They're all taking hits, everyone. Remember, that doesn't property always go up. This has to have an impact on the valuation of these properties. Andrew Henderson, managing director at Professionals Mermaid Beach, said houses and 3-bedroom apartments had been steady throughout the pandemic, while vacancy rates had spiked for 2-bedroom apartments. It was mainly down to the fact that a lot of hospitality workers from overseas went home, he said. Listings also surged when holiday lettings were shifted onto the permanent rental market. There you go. That had a bit of a big impact. Hence prices came down. But we've seen the start to bouncing back with jobs coming back in hospitality and retail. Well, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Sure, they need to have a positive attitude. They need to have a positive attitude. That they'll need that to get through the day. It's going to be bloody hard to be a real estate agent renting stuff right now. Particularly if you've got landlords with completely unrealistic expectations, or landlords that need to rent at a certain amount, or they're going to go under, or they'll have to sell. And that's when we start to see, a flow-on effect. Don't worry, I'm sure the banks will just give them mortgage holidays forever. I mean, someone left quite a good comment, free market in 2020, being free of all your responsibilities, and the government taking care of you. What do you think? Mr. Henderson said furnished apartments were renting at a cheaper price than unfurnished equivalents, reflecting supply and demand. Elsewhere, rents on the Sunshine Coast remained at record heights, with houses sitting steady at $500 a week and units holding at $410 a week on the sunny coast. Bloody hell! $500 a week for up there. Rents for houses in Moreton Bay at 1.3% to $395 a week, while Logan recorded a similar fall, but the median weekly rent was down to $365. So there you have it, everyone. Even Brisbane, Gold Coast, and Sunny Coast seems pretty resilient, probably because of the lifestyle up there. We've taken a hit, but not as much as some of the other cities. Could that be reflected in our property prices? And if we have a look here in property in Brisbane, You know, when we haven't had the insane growth of some of the other cities. And hopefully will still be more affordable to the southerners who are selling out and wanting to retire up here. But still, this is only the beginning of the tough economic times we're about to face. We've seen it in all of these cities have taken rent hits, one thing after the other. What do you think, everyone? Are you renting now? Are you shopping around to get a better deal? Are you renting out your properties, trying to make sure you keep your tenants in there, whatever you can do? What are you doing to sweeten the pot? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. Simply interacting with the channel lets YouTube know you're enjoying the content and helps it spread. You can support us financially by joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon, using any of our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin, buying our merch from HeiseSays, using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or supporting us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.